Just thought I'd show you this big pine here. There's a woodshed that I built, and it's 8 by 8, and it's 6 or so feet behind this tree. But I thought I'd show it to you. It's about as big a white pine as you ever see, eastern white pine. As you see, this tree is at least 4 foot. 4 foot on the stump, you can see, compared to that 8 foot wide building. It's as wide as half or maybe a tad more, but that tree's 4 foot easy on the stump, and had an awful winter here. You can see all these limbs broke out. All this debris on top of this building came from the top of this tree. I hope y'all can see this. This tree's 125 feet tall at least, but you can see it just broke it up. It's been a rough winter here, but pretty big, nice white pine. But just thought I'd show that to you. Thought you might find that interesting, and bear with me. I'll show you something else that's pretty interesting down here. This right here is a tame cherry tree. I have probably 100 of them or more that's on my property, and this thing's 60 feet tall, and when it's already bloomed, and everything's late here because of the winter, but this thing gets cherries on it. There's one above here about 40 feet away, gets cherries on it. The bears climb this thing in June, and just tear it all to pieces where they climb up and down it and break the limbs out of it. But that's a pretty big tame cherry that's wild. I had a grove of them out on top of the mountain that I own. There's probably a dozen or more of them up there, and they were probably 6 inches in diameter and maybe 20 feet tall, 15 feet tall or something, and the bear just kept getting into them every time they'd have fruit, and just kept breaking the tops out until they just finally killed them all. They just couldn't take how much damage the bear was putting on them. They destroyed their own food source. This tree here, I don't know, it's probably 18 inches or so on the stump, something to that effect. But I'll show you a wild cherry here. There's a wild cherry. You see the difference in the bark, and have a little tiny purple cherry on it versus a big, smooth, bright red cherry that these other cherries have. Just rambling on. Talk to you later. Thanks for watching.